Oh, my astrology friends and family, this is Lada from astrological.com. I'm here today with my colleague and friend Krasi Atasio, who will lead us through the month of July using the ancient astrology of
my astrology friends and family.
Oops, sorry. That will be using sidereal astrology for the month of July for the 12 signs. And of course, she would mention also the tropical signs that we know in the West. And make sure you listen to your ascendant sign uh, first and foremost. Then you can listen to the moon and the sun sign as well. Hello, Krasi.
Hello, Wada.
How does the summer look?
Yes, should be better than June. June was very heavy. In June we had the influence of the eclipse. We were also under the influence of the eclipse of May. So maybe June, which is almost finishing, was not very harmonious. I also, in the end of June, we will have the great T-square on the sky, which will be between Saturn in retrograde in sidereal Capricorn, opposed by Mars invisible in Cancer, and squared by Uranus from sidereal Aries. So quite heavy situation. And also combined by two eclipses just days before. So June obviously was not very easy. July looks a bit better, but actually, yes, looks better because the full moon, which is about around the 24th, I think, was of June, is shifting a little bit the energies of the eclipse, because the eclipse took place in sidereal, in the axis of sidereal Aries, Taurus, Scorpio. But the full moon happens in a different axis, which shifts a little bit the energies. And this axis is of Sagittarius, Gemini. So yes, we do experience, and we will experience, the long-lasting influences of the eclipses. This is how it works. We do experience this. But I see that the energies are a little bit easier. Not completely yet. August will be much better.
August? Good. Because that's when we're doing our retreat in Bulgaria. So it will be easy to travel and everything else, because people are worried. Because we're also traveling as well now towards the end of July. And I'm excited that August will be better, at least.
Yes, August will be better. Venus will be in a very blessing position in August. Venus will be in Leo, and in the ancient cuneiform of the Babylonian cuneiform tablets, oftentimes you will see Venus depicted with the lion. So Venus in August will be in sidereal Leo, much more powerful, much more helpful. The energies will be different. In July, not completely yet, because even the month of July, on the 1st of July, we're talking about the solar month, which we use. This is not the lunar month, but still we're facing the very same T-square of Saturn retro opposing Mars and squared by Uranus. This is not very easy, but there is always helping hand, of God, of the universe, which is Venus, which is also in Cancer together with Mars. And there is this saying that when a benevolent planet is watching in such difficult situation, the evil will be destroyed. So let's really pray that the evil will be destroyed
In August, Venus is in sidereal Leo, which means we'll have a lot of fun on the retreat.
Oh no! Yes. The situation is much better. The situation.
By the way, all traveling restrictions in Bulgaria are down. People can travel very easily. They just need a test. So it's gonna be very easy if you want to join us there. We still have a few available places. At night, we'll go and have our dinner outside in nature. The hotel will bring it to us. We'll watch the stars. We'll tell stories about the stars. We'll learn to dance a special spiritual dance as well. A whole group is coming to teach us that what does it do? It spins the energy, the chakras of the earth.
Exactly. This is amazing. These are very knowledgeable people, Bulgarians, which are traveling all over Bulgaria to what is the right word, verb to
Spin.
to spin the energies, because this has very serious esoteric occultistic meaning, with a very special Bulgarian dance. And they're coming, and in the city center, a village, it's a city, small city, like a village, a small town, they will teach us for 4 hours, and then of course the party will continue to dance, and then you can imagine that the people of the town will join. It will be really great.
Oh, it will be amazing.
And they will be explaining the esoteric meaning. Why? Because it is useless to make certain activity when you don't know the reason behind. But they will be teaching us why, what is happening with the energies when you're spinning them, and why in certain rhythm which exists only on the Balkans, the 7/8.
Yes, it doesn't exist anywhere in the world.
No, only in Bulgaria, only on the Balkans. So this will be something which people, no way that anyone has seen that. No, it is really
I'm so excited. I think it will be more like a holiday for me. I'm doing every day a lecture in nature for about an hour and a half. I'll be speaking about the future, what's coming, but I think it will be more of a holiday for me as well. And at night, Krasi will be telling us the stories. We'll be sitting and watching the stars.
With Wada together.
Yeah, okay. Me too. And we'll be telling what each fixed stars is about. And by the way, Krasi has a new reading that she's offering for a big promotion, the meaning of the fixed stars in your horoscope, because very few people know the ancient meanings of the fixed stars. And Krasi can do a reading for you. You can check out the link below on her profile. We'll put it any moment now. If you want a reading with her, that's her, just for a couple of weeks she's offering this reading. But sorry, we digress. Getting back to July. Sorry about that.
Yes. So July, indeed, July is special because what we are witnessing in July, 5-6 days ago, Mars became invisible. This is very important. This is very serious. And this will be the situation with Mars up until December. A very long trip of Mars, while all the time he will be invisible. What is this meaning? Simply, literally, technically, we won't be able to see Mars on the sky. So whether we will be trying to detect Mars on the sky in August, but no way to detect him. Doesn't mean that he's not there, but he will be hidden in the rays of the sun. And this has very specific meaning, because you can imagine, I will briefly explain how I understand from the perspective of the ancients, the invisibility of Mars. We all know, even non-astrologers perfectly well understand what is Mars, how he represents this martial ambition, even aggressive maybe, energy of the typical soldier, the typical warrior. But what is happening when we don't see him? When this energy of the visible powers, fiery Mars, is being suppressed in a way, then Mars totally changes his energy, becomes unpredictable, but also quite strategic, because there is description, I think, in the ancient texts, that when Mars is invisible, very unpredictable. But also, if you look at the horoscope of army leaders, let's say, or generals, they would more often have invisible Mars, because they are not these visible warriors which enter the battlefield, but they are the ones that are into the strategy. So this is Mars. So he has these two extremes of being very strategic, but at times also very impulsive, reacting without warning. So, and imagine he will be in Cancer.
There is the energy of Scorpio, the energy of Scorpio to Mars when it's invisible. Like the Scorpio can bite you any moment, yes. You don't know, but it's an ambush and it's planning. That can be really good, actually, to attack weaknesses in your life and to, strategically to overcome with your willpower certain situations if you use it for good. Of course, it depends.
Yes, you can train your own diplomatic skills, because they are always useful. They're high, yes, diplomacy. So indeed, and especially when in Cancer, he can represent even more the energy of Mars, who otherwise rules Scorpio. But yes, he's unpredictable. And even the visible Mars in the Babylonian mythology was called the unpredictable star, the unpredictable. And the ancients would really fear him. So now, all the time, up until the winter, he will be invisible. And in July, he will be in Cancer. Well, we're lucky that in July, Venus is with him. She softens these energies, but she's also a bit weak in Cancer. So this is the situation of Mars. We do not know exactly what he can bring because of his total unpredictability. The people that vibrate really high, that are able to control their emotions, minds, and actions will benefit from this indeed, will manage to develop high diplomatic and strategic skills. The others may do crazy weather. This is what these Mars can do. Well, Venus is helpful indeed, but let's say the truth. What is the meaning of this situation, especially while in Cancer? To me, this is a little bit of craziness. This is what we can expect in the world a bit. Another very important thing, on the 17th of July, around, because for the different parts of the world, this will be different, very shortly, for a week, Mercury becomes visible as a morning star in Gemini. This is really very nice. Count 17th of July for approximately a week. That's is brilliant.
We're traveling. That's good.
Very good for you. Very good for you, because he can be helpful, especially when you communicate, when you negotiate, when you travel, when you let's say initiate some sort of negotiation or travel. Yes. So yeah, and you can plan, let's say you have important project and you want to launch it, and this project is related to your communication or website or teaching. This can be really brilliant, but it's a very short period. It's a 1 week period, but you can benefit from this obviously. So, and then it will be trained by Jupiter. And why this is so beautiful, because when you look at the mythology of Babylon again, they are the prince and the king. Jupiter is the king. Nabu, the son of Marduk, which is Mercury, is his son, and they're in very beautiful relationship. Jupiter and Mercury, they're never in conflict. It's not like Jupiter and Saturn, you know. So this can be really something very beneficial, also due to the trine of Jupiter. So this 1 week, people can really do something. So this is more or less what is happening. And yes, we know in the meantime, Jupiter is retro, everyone is retro in the sky, Saturn is retro, Pluto is retro. Time feels like it is a bit slowed down. I already feel it, Wada. I don't know if you feel it. Like,
that's great. It's summer. People need to slow down a bit.
I agree, but it has impact also on our activities. Like when we want to, when we have important tasks or activities or plans, and we expect results, also the results may be a little bit slowed down. So this is the negative, the side effect of the whole story. But yeah, I like time to be slowed down, like before, like in the 90s. Yes. All right, so let's start, ladies and gentlemen, to see the 12th ascendant. As usual, I will be saying the sidereal ascendant, and then we also look at the tropical ascendant, so that people who also use the modern tropical zodiac recognize, of course, their horoscopes, and also the moon sign. So indeed, we're starting with Aries, people who have ascendant Aries sidereal, or one time maybe we have to indeed make separate explanation to people the difference between sidereal and tropical. Then they will really understand in very good detail. Then they will really understand.
We can start the August ones with an explanation.
Yeah, we will do them like 10 minutes deep. But anyway, I'm giving now the sidereal explanation and then the tropical. So Aries sidereal, or moon in sidereal Aries, or for you who use the modern tropical zodiac, this will be Taurus. So what is happening for you? I think that July will be a little bit tense for you, and you may feel a bit nervous. You may feel the energies to be a bit of too much, and this is because Uranus, since April 2017, is on your ascendant, but in the meantime, you have Saturn and you have Mars, who form this T-square. Now, I don't think this is dramatic, because you always have the helping hand, but you need to be careful, especially at work with superiors, because I'm sure that you're going through possible changes in your career, and most probably you do with this Saturn on your 10th house. But now in particular, you have to be very diplomatic, not to be impulsive, to be careful, to think twice, to apply the strategic weapons, if you want, of the invisible Mars, who is in your home, in your 4th house. It's like you will be charging yourself from your home because Venus is there. So your place of comfort will be your home. You will be charging yourself there, and then be very careful, be very diplomatic, be very intuitive, and really patient when it comes to your career, because I do think that your lessons may appear there. Also, beautifully around the middle of the month, July, Mercury becomes visible on your 3rd house. This is quite benevolent for you, because this can support eventual travel, negotiation, your spiritual path, your awakening process, your you teaching others, negotiating. And this is a short period of approximately 1 week. I'm saying approximately because for the different parts of the world, we will be seeing Mercury with some differences. Therefore, this is the most important for you. So with this appearance of Mercury, he can support new projects that you have in related to knowledge, education, media, communication. So all this will be very nice. You are supported very nicely by Jupiter in your 11th house. From there, he supports communication with children. From there, he supports money through your career. But so he is supportive when it comes to finances, but you still may need to be a bit careful when it comes to career, particularly there you need to be careful. So let's see now, people who have sidereal ascendant Taurus or moon in Taurus, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Gemini. Now, you still may need to be a bit too emotional or feel certain dose of discomfort due to these multiple eclipses happening on the axis of your ascendant descendant. So you may feel this energy. I see people that I'm doing readings for, how indeed with ascendant Taurus or ascendant Scorpio, descendant Taurus or Scorpio, when this axis is in this, is their ascendant descendant, how they still may feel a little bit too emotional, tense. Keep in mind, this is due to the eclipses. 2 of them happened, one on the 26th of March, of May, one on the 10th of June. And when you know what is the reason behind your emotions, you can also be in control. So knowledge in this case is very important. You can do your spiritual practices to feel better. Also keep in mind that this is like temporary, well, this is temporary situation, but when you launch important new initiatives, you indeed may need to wait for the new lunar month to appear, and this will be even more helpful. Then you will release yourself from the heavy energies of the eclipses. But you have the very helping hand of Jupiter on your 10th house. He supports your career. He supports you in general, your well-being, because from the 10th house, he watches pretty much everywhere, also to the ascendant, to the descendant. So this is a really great helping hand. Even Saturn from your 9th house is supporting your awakening, your spiritual growth. He's teaching you discipline in a very, very appropriate way. Then Mercury will appear for the first time around the 15th, 17th of July on your 2nd house in Mercury, in Gemini, very, very powerful, where he can support projects, your financial ideas. This is good for your finances. So the month of July financially should be good for you. You only need to watch out when you travel. Be careful, make sure that you choose very good date, make sure that you hear your intuition. If you feel it doesn't sound good to travel now, postpone it until you really feel good, because your intuition will tell you the truth. So basically, you may feel a little bit too heavy energies from the eclipse, but you do have the great support of Jupiter on the 10th house, the awakening of Mercury on your 2nd. So I do believe that you will be well. So just watch out a little bit for traveling, communication with people abroad, negotiations, so be a little bit careful. Now, also, yes, yeah. Now let's look at ascendant Gemini or moon in Gemini, sidereal, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Cancer. Cancer ascendant or moon in Cancer. Now for you, very beautifully, Jupiter trines the ascendant, and in July, the sun is on your ascendant. This is beautiful, good energies, really of well-being, of your awakening, of your teachings, communication, knowledge. It is really nice. Mercury appears for the first time. His visibility will be seen on your ascendant. Indeed, it is only for 1 week, but this week can be very benevolent for you, can give you chances to fulfill your ideas, plans financially, also when it comes to projects or things that you want to accomplish, when it comes to communication, knowledge. This is very nice, Mercury appearing on this 1 week on your ascendant. He can support any project related, which is related to eloquence, communication, commerce, even finances. So this is very nice. In the meantime, you have interesting situation happening on the axis of your second and eighth houses, which you would say you may watch out a bit on how you work financially, your projects, your ideas. You may need to watch out, to wait, to have patience, to be very disciplined when it comes to finances, and be careful not to make impulsive decisions. So this is very important because Mars invisible is on your second house. Indeed, he's with Venus, but this is also very emotional conjunction. So when you really rushed to take financial decisions, I would tell you, wait, listen to your intuition, check everything very well, double check, triple check, make sure that you're planning everything good, well, because Saturn is involved in this configuration, which is related to your finances. So there you may need to watch out a little bit. But other than that, your projects, will be very, very well supported. So this is for people who have, I do think that to travel, you're okay. So I think that you are on the safe side for sure. And now let's see people who have ascendant Cancer, sidereal, or this will be moon in Cancer, or people who have who follow the modern tropical astrology, this will be Leo. Now for you, interestingly, we have to see where your actually for you, you have this active, a bit dense axis of Mars on your ascendant with Venus, and then Saturn makes opposition, then your Uranus is on your 10th house. This is not very harmonious. Now be a little bit careful, especially towards the end of this month, now June, and maybe the first week of July. Watch out a little bit, stay away from risky situations, be a little bit careful, don't get involved into conflicts, disputes, really don't take risks. Even when you travel, do it only when you're very sure that you will be on the safe side. Be careful, because this is disharmony. Well, yes, Venus supports you indeed very much on your ascendant, but still it's good to be on the safe side because Mars is invisible and he can stay behind certain unpredictability, impulsiveness, and even conflicts. This is one thing. Then actually you will be having a very interesting situation. Looks like situation from the sacred geometry. It is Jupiter in your 8th house, and then the Sun in the 12th, and then Mercury in the middle of the month, July, becomes visible on your 12th house, and they are like pushing up some your plans, your career. So in this sense, you will have support. Just watch out for the emotions around you, for conflicts, but Jupiter and Venus are helpful when it comes to finances, and they give some strength to your career plans. So in this sense, this is good. Just due to the a bit complex celestial configuration, make sure that you're on the safe side. Also be careful in July when you're making traveling plans, when you're making plans of, let's say, surgeries. You have to be quite careful. Well, yes, of course, there are always the helping hands of Jupiter and Venus, and they are also there for you, but you still need to be wise. And yes, now I'll be looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Leo or moon in Leo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be ascendant Virgo. Now for you, actually beautifully for you, Jupiter for quite some time. This was, I think, 11th of April when Jupiter entered Aquarius, but he's still there. He will be there the entire month of July. Jupiter will be on your 7th house. This is very good energy of well-being. The sweet energies of Jupiter you experience directly from your descendant. They will have impact on your home relationship agreements. Jupiter from there will bring peace at home for you, and this is something very nice. He trines now as we speak the sun on your 11th house. The sun is there in July, and also Mercury becomes visible for the first time on your 11th house, and this is 1 week of very good, let's say, blessing for success when it related to your let's say connections with other people, your plans, your communication, your finances, because Mercury becomes visible in his own kingdom, Gemini, in your 11th house, trined by Jupiter. This is benevolent for you, benevolent for your finances and plans and all that I just listed. So this is fine. You may need to watch out for eventual disputes, conflicts, and your health. You need to be responsible for your health because of activation of the axis of the 6th and 12th houses. So be responsible for your health. Make sure that people who work for you or who share your routine environment, make sure that you are very diplomatic, peaceful, careful with them, because there you may have eventually some small challenges. I do think that you may travel, that you may communicate, negotiate, because you have quite good positions of the planets for the month of July. And now we're looking at people who have ascendant sidereal Virgo or moon in Virgo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be ascendant Libra. Now for you, let's see, your ascendant ruler Mercury, he appears for the first time on your 10th house, middle of July, together with, middle of July, and receives the beautiful trine of Jupiter from your 6th house. This supports your career, your routine work environment, even your health. This is very good thing. This 1 week after the middle of July of the visibility of Mercury can give you a blessing, help, can support projects that you, for example, had in mind but was not going through or wouldn't go through any development. So this can be support and very good financially too. Because yes, it is quite benevolent. Be a bit careful when it comes to your love life, let's say. It can be too emotional or a bit disharmonious. Watch out a little bit for your communication with children. Be attentive with children. And well, I do think that you may negotiate, you may travel in July. This is okay for you. Even health-wise, you are supported by the placement of Jupiter in your 6th house. Yes, I explained what you may need to watch out a little bit for. And then we're looking at people who have ascendant sidereal Libra or moon in Libra, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be ascendant Scorpio. Now, interestingly for you, Venus, your ascendant ruler in the month of July, will be in Cancer with Mars. Venus in Cancer is a little bit too emotional, a bit too maybe melancholic if you want, not very powerful to say. And she's with Mars, she receives opposition from Saturn. This may involve for you some expenditures, let's say. You may feel that you have a lot of expenses, let's say, or also disharmonies at home and also at work. So and you may feel a bit too emotional or too melancholic in your private life too. So be a bit, be wise, be very patient, do spiritual practices, welcome the sun. And the greatest remedy of all times, thousands of thousands years old, is this: to welcome the sun, to get the positive energies of the sun, because nothing can be better than that. So when you feel melancholic, when you feel a little bit too emotional, in the morning, wake up and welcome the sun. You may need it because Venus is in a little bit of this harmonious position, but this will pass too. So on the other hand, of course, you would have the very supportive placement of Jupiter in your 5th house. He supports your children, he supports your creative knowledge, he supports you even financially. And in the 5th house, he trines your ascendant to give you good feeling, support. He trines your descendant, so the helping hand is there. But I just warned you where to be a little bit careful in the month of July. Yes, so when you take decisions, especially when it comes to your career, make sure that you're very balanced, that you think twice, that you ask your intuition, and you will be well. So this is only for July. August will be easier. And let's look at people who have ascendant sidereal Scorpio or moon in Scorpio, or this will be for people who follow the tropical astrology, this will be ascendant Sagittarius. Now for you, this is again the axis of the eclipses. This year we have 4, 2 already took place, one on the 26th of May, the other one on the 10th of June, and they're happening on your axis. Always people who are affected by eclipse, especially when it happens on their rising sign, which is the house of life, which is directly their body themselves. Of course, you will experience these energies, and it may take some time until they while they'll be influencing you. So if you again, if you feel melancholic, if you feel too emotional, if you feel not very much balanced or harmonious, the great remedy, which I just mentioned, is really welcome the sun. Get the solar energies of which are the most divine, and you will get back in yourself, and you'll get back again balanced. This is very important also because your ascendant ruler Mars is invisible in Cancer. When invisible, he may make you a bit too impulsive. Try to vibrate very high, because then you will not be impulsive, but you will be very diplomatic and very strategic and even very mystical, and you will get the right energies, like what I explained in the beginning, the right energies of Scorpio, which are mysticism, secrecy. You will really be able to connect and resonate with the energies of knowledge, of strategy, if you want, which you may need, of course, to apply instead of being nervous and impulsive, which otherwise the invisible Mars can cause you, because he's your ascendant ruler. He is with Venus, and she's able to be helpful and to give him some good help and energy. So this is quite fine. Even very passionate. So I see this as a good conjunction. But then Saturn makes opposition. He will make you even more structured, because this is his role. When he makes opposition to Mars, he teaches us structure and discipline. So you may need indeed to tune into this energy so that you stay safe and feel well and not worried. But you again make sure that you vibrate very high, that you welcome the sun, that you do spiritual procedures, and you will be well for sure. Then Jupiter is in your 4th house, from where luckily he aspects the ascendant, he aspects the descendant. So this is again great helping hand, which you will find at home. So your place of comfort will be your home, your family. And then Mercury becomes visible for the first time on your 8th house, supportive for your finances when they come through, let's say, partnership, or when they come through unexpected sources, or for your partner. So in this sense, this will be very careful. So if you're in control of your energies, you will be having actually a very good month with a lot of new information and knowledge coming for you. if you manage, of course, to do that, then you will feel comfortable to travel, to negotiate, so everything will be very well. But still watch out a little bit, because Saturn is in your 3rd house, and if you're planning travel or negotiations, make sure that you feel very prepared, very structured, very good preparation work, and very good strategy for your communication, for your commercial work would also be needed. Then we look at people who have ascendant sidereal Sagittarius or moon in Sagittarius, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Capricorn. Now, the first, the full moon of end of June appeared on your axis. This is actually quite interesting, because this is activation, let's say, of axis which involves a lot of philosophy and knowledge. So I believe that this is what the month of July will bring you. Jupiter for you, your ascendant ruler, is quite well placed for you in your 3rd house, from where he supports, especially this, he supports your awakening, your knowledge, your commercial work, your communication, travel even. So this is fine. For the first time, Mercury around the middle of July will be rising on the sky in your 7th house. There he can support negotiations. He can support communication with your partner. Let's say that you couldn't find words or opportunity to say something, or to fix some things in your relationship, or then you will have this beautiful opportunity around the first week after the 15th of July, when this will be also good for agreements, contracts, communications, but this is from the 2nd part of July for you. But still, when it comes to finances, make sure that you check everything, that every documentation is well planned, well controlled, because the axis of finances for you is a little bit disharmonious for the whole month of July. So make sure that you double, triple check all this. Other than that, the month is fine for, like I said, for negotiations, for travel, for teaching others, for your spiritual practices. Yeah. And now let's look at people who have ascendant Capricorn or moon in Capricorn, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Aquarius. So for you, we know Saturn is for quite some time already, more than 1 year on your ascendant. I'm sure that he is doing his job of changing you, changing your belief system, showing in the world the truth behind this reality of ours. So I'm sure that you're going through lots of personal changes. Now, this is even more enhanced, so to say, by Mars, who is on your 7th house with Venus and Uranus on the 4th, which means that these particular placements of your home, your relationship, your personal perceptions of the world, of your relationships, of your personal life, all this is being activated. So make sure that you're very balanced, very patient, very diplomatic with your partner, with people at home, parents, partner, romantic partner, partnerships in general. Also, this can have impact on your career. So make sure that you are very balanced and very patient and really loving and forgiving for at home with your partner, because this can be pretty emotional. You have invisible Mars, who is unpredictable, and Venus on your 7th house, and then Saturn on your ascendant, and then Uranus on your 4th house. This can activate these energies, which can be too emotional, too unpredictable, sometimes conflicting. But unless you have the knowledge and you avoid all this for good, and you learn to be strategic and to be wise and to apply your intuition, so then you'll be absolutely on the safe side. Jupiter is in your 2nd house, and he is quite helpful when it comes to your finances. He also supports your 6th house of your routine work, of people that work for you. They can be quite helpful, because Mercury from the 2nd half of July for 1 week will be visible on your 6th house. Very good, supporting exactly this your routine. So there he can help you with ideas, with plans, with projects which will support exactly your everyday job. So this is basically briefly for the month of July for you. And now we're looking at people who have ascendant Aquarius or moon in Aquarius, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be ascendant Pisces. Just 1 second. Oops, mistake. Excuse me. So yes, so this will be. Excuse me for a second. Yeah. So people who have Aquarius or moon in Aquarius or tropical astrology Pisces. Now for you, since 11th of April, Jupiter is on your ascendant. This is very good blessing. Really, maybe you feel already that you are not worried, you feel safe, you feel just well, and you do not know why. Well, Jupiter is absolutely capable to give you these feelings of and energies when on your ascendant. This is really very good. So this is going to be the case until the entire month of July, when you will be like very strong, and even well, nothing bad can happen. This is what Jupiter on your ascendant can mean. Then you have the sun right now is in your 5th house, trine by Jupiter. But the beautiful thing is that after the middle of July, Mercury appears for the first time also on your 5th house. Quite well, fine for your finances, for communication with children, for your creative studies, let's say for studies, for hobby, for talented work. Financially, I mentioned this will be very helpful. So this is very fine. You only need to watch out for your routine environment, that for to stay away from eventually from a small annoying conflicts and disputes, hidden enemies. Yes, Jupiter is saving you, but it doesn't mean that the small annoying issues may not arise. It is possible that you experience this. Watch out a little bit when traveling for disharmonies, not for big deal situations. And be responsible for your health. You have the great blessing of Jupiter also when it comes to your health, but still this is, you have activation of the axis of 12th and 6th house, which is very much related to health. And there you have Saturn, and then you have Mars and Venus. So make sure that you have very healthy lifestyle. Other than that, well, in one word, Jupiter on your ascendant, make sure that you will be well during this whole month of July too. And Mercury will be helping your career and your finances. Let's now look at people who have a sidereal ascendant Pisces or moon in Pisces, or this will be tropical Aries. Now for you, Jupiter, your ascendant ruler, is in your 12th house. Jupiter is not weak in Aquarius. Aquarius is diurnal sign. Jupiter is diurnal planet. He is not weak. Much stronger he is than while he was in Capricorn with Saturn. So in your 12th house, he can make you even more empathic, even more feeling the social significance and mission of your work, let's say. He can make you very empathic. He can make you desire to be in solitude, in desired self-isolation, or desires to visit temples, help others, do work for the others. He can make you really become very esoteric, very occultistic, very much searching for solitude. This is Jupiter on your 12th house. This is one thing that he can mean. Also, Mercury becomes visible for you for the first time on your 4th house. Interesting. From there, he can give you insights, ideas, which can be related, like his first appearance in Gemini on your 4th house can give supportive ideas to your home or to your work. He can be very interesting in this sense. And then you have Saturn on your 11th, receiving opposition from Venus and Mars on your 5th house. This is quite strong situation, which means that you may need a little bit to watch out for decisions that you may make related to your finances. You may need to be diplomatic at your work career place, and also with your friends. Could be that you are already in a process when some people that you thought are friends actually turn not to be friends. You may need to be also to be a little bit attentive with children. Be careful also how you communicate with them. You may need to be a bit diplomatic and careful. But also financially, when you need to make decisions, be sure that you are very disciplined, very structured, and not impulsive. So this is another thing. I think that you may travel. Still, Mercury will give you some interesting changes of projects, let's say, that you have in your career, some small development. So in this sense, this will be helpful. But yes, be diplomatic career-wise when you communicate with superiors. In this sense, the month of July may not be really superb, but for your spiritual work, you may really get results which can be very, very good. And also at home, you may feel that you have the muse to create things at home or to improve, or simply to be creative at home, to change your working place to your home and to do some creative work or projects or study or share your knowledge with others. So this is the thing. I do think that you may travel during the month of July. So what to tell you more? This is it for the 12th ascendant, sidereal, and also tropically for the month of July. Wada.
Thank you so much, Krasi. You did it all in one breath. I love your fire. Tropically, Krasi is Aries, Sun, and Leo rising. I can see it. You can see the fire. Thank you so much, Krasi. So just to remind you again, Krasi has a special promotional reading on. Krasi is a master at the fixed stars and their meanings according to ancient times. And as you know, most modern astrologers rarely use fixed stars. So if you want to know the deeper meaning of your horoscope with the fixed stars, and fixed stars show something that is beyond your horoscope, because everyone is born with the 7 planets, but just few people have specific important royal stars or fixed stars on specific points in their horoscope, which almost is like a mission in their lives. So you can check out this reading. It's on a promotion with Krasi, or we still have places for the retreat in Bulgaria. If you want to join us, we spoke about it at the beginning. And I'm wishing you a great summer. It's the first day of summer today, and the first day of winter for those down below. So special time. May this summer be a summer of freedom, at least.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wada. Thank you, everyone, for your attention. See you in August.